Macadamia is considered the world's finest dessert nut, and some people say it's the king of nuts because of its delicate taste and numerous health benefits. It's grown in Kenya both as cash crop and foreign exchange earner, with Kenya producing about 10% of the world's total production. Macadamia has great potential for poverty reduction due to the high value of its products and its low requirement for external imports. Macadamia is a tropical tree, hence does well in areas where they get full sunlight but sheltered from wind for healthy fruit production. The soil required, however, should be deep and well drained. Macadamia nuts are a favorite with cooks because of their many and varied uses. They work well in both sweet dishes, adding crunch and texture. Tossing a handful of them into your salad, stir fry, cookie batter or smoothie elevates normal recipes into sublime creations. But before we bring you value addition of macadamia, let's first start from the basics. Let's go to the farm and learn how to grow, how to tend for the crop, and we'll also tell you if it's a profitable venture. Our farmer today is going to give you all the tips that you need to know in order to be a successful macadamia farmer. Let's go to the farm. Thank you, Kaya. Thank you. Hello and welcome to yet another exciting episode of Kilimo na Biashara. Well, Murang'a County never ceases to amaze me, as beautiful as it is. Wow. And we are in Maragua for the first time, and today we want to explore macadamia farming. Are you curious to know more about this plant? Well, let's go to the farm and join the farmer. Mrs. Maura.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Nice to meet you.
Meet you finally. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. This is so beautiful.
Yeah, it's a beautiful view. That is Murang'a town there.
Yes.
That is Mount Kenya.
Ooh.
And that is Aberdares.
Whoa, whoa, all this beauty.
Yeah, when you sit up there
yes.
at my balcony, you can see Masinga Dam that side.
On the other side. So you
yes.
see Masinga Dam, you see Mount Kenya, you see Aberdare Ranges.
Yes.
And the entire Murang'a town.
Yes.
You're lucky. So from here, where do we go to?
Oh, I'll show you around the farm. Yes.
Okay, let's go. Lead the way. Okay.
This is lemongrass.
Oh, lemongrass. You have
yes.
herbs as well.
Yes.
Wow, look at Murang'a. I told you, it never ceases to amaze me. I mean, there's lemongrass even in the compound. That's another type of farming. But well, let's go see macadamia. Wow, this is really nice. There are some that are ripe.
Yeah.
There are some that are not ripe.
These are
like this is now macadamia.
These are the macadamias. Those are young ones. They are not ready.
So they don't get ripe at the same time?
No. Some are flowering. Others are at this stage, which is small one.
Yes.
There are even smaller ones than that. These.
Ah, this one is actually very small.
And then there are the ones which are ready, which are being harvested now.
And I see harvesting is ongoing there.
Yes, yes.
Wow, this is so nice. How big is this?
We have 2,500 trees. Yeah.
Ah, that is a lot. And I see there is a lot of intercropping here. I see macadamia, beans, and many others.
You see, when they are little, there's a lot of land empty. So you can use it to plant friendly things like beans, mbaazi, until such time that there is no room for those other things. Yeah, the tree needs to be its own on its own. You can't grow anything underneath it.
Murang'a County is usually very fertile. I'm just even looking at your soil here. It's loam soil, very beautiful. But now I'm curious, amongst all other crops, why macadamia?
You see, at your age, we needed to retire. And we needed something which is manageable, something which you give income, not too much work. Yeah, we thought macadamia is a good deal.
You really mentioned this type of farming, macadamia farming, as a laid-back farming. How has it been?
When we went into it, I had never seen a macadamia tree. Actually, after we planted, I wanted to see a whole tree the way it grows. So I had to travel outside my farm and find whoever had, and we found some former chief up there who has mature trees, and I was amazed to see it was almost like coffee or something like that, and it is very interesting and very therapeutic, if you like.
At the same time,
It's like growing a baby. It takes like 4 or 5 years before you see the fruits, but it's been very, very interesting.
This looks so successful, but I'm just wondering, in your journey of farming macadamia, what are some of the challenges? Like even mention pests and diseases, has it affected you?
If you control this, they are little insects. In Kikuyu we call them mudhingiriri, like these ones. You see, if you, now we can't spray because they are picking. We wait when they finish picking, we will do it because it takes 2 weeks to be allowed to do it again. If you control this, and when they are young, you give enough water, you are good to go. That's all you need to do. Water and this. We haven't seen any other disease so far, thank God.
And is it a heavy consumer of water?
Yes, when it is young, you need to keep it well hydrated. Yeah, because you don't want it to show any stress. Because it is hard wood, you can't easily revive it like an avocado. You have to have a program to water and to spray to eliminate those, because they will destroy the ends, and that's where the fruits.
Yes, the fruits.
Yeah, and they also attack the fruit itself or the flower. Yes.
And as I see your people harvesting there, I'm just wondering, how is the market? Did you do some of market research just to know how this macadamia is faring in the market?
When we planted about 5 years ago, it was a free market. People could come out from outside, the Chinese, the Germans, anyone could visit a farmer and buy their macadamia fruit at very high, because it was competition and there were not many. It's a very expensive tree. From seedlings are like 450 shillings per seedling.
So it's a bit pricey.
It's quite pricey. And then feeding it for 4 years without any fruiting is not many people would want to go into that. So worldwide there's scarcity. So when they used to be many buyers, so the prices, because of the demand, the supply was not there, the demand was high. The prices were up to 250, 300
per kg.
Per kg, yes. That is like 4 or 5 years ago. But the government thought if they insisted on value addition instead of exporting raw material, many processors will come up to provide labor and to add value to our, but it did not work that way.
Things turned the other way. What happened?
They turned that way. Now we don't see, there's a cartel. Then the middleman came to collect for the processors, and that middleman want to buy. Now it is 40 shillings per kilo from 300. So we don't know. We are in discussion with the government.
So you sell it at 40 shillings per kg. But I'm just wondering, how about you sell it directly to the processor?
Well, this is business. If I can get it, if the middleman buys 40 shillings and he sells to the processor 50 shillings, why would he want to talk to you?
That's true.
To buy better prices for them?
Yeah.
So the government are the ones who have to put proper policies and laws to protect the farmer.
And judging from what you've talked about, do you think macadamia could be one of the businesses that can boost the country's economy at some point?
It can, if only the farmer is taken care of. They are paid what is rightfully theirs. The farmers are there, people are ready to farm. We will farm, and everybody else will farm, and that will boost the economy, provided there are no cartels in between. And that's the work of the government to protect the farmers. And we've heard the Vice President always talking about protecting the farmers. Yes. We appeal to him to look after the Macadamian people. Yeah, from 200 shillings, 300 shillings to 40 shillings, that is. Yeah, here some are cutting them off and putting back the coffee.
And how do you see the future of macadamia farming? I know you're like 4 to 3 years into this, but how do you see the future of this crop?
It's bright. It's bright if the government puts proper policies to protect the farmer. The farmer is willing to farm, yes.
So this is your first harvest. I'm sure you're quite elated about this. What are your expectations? How many kgs per harvest?
Oh, we didn't expect it to be so much for the first time. We expected little, but it is done very well, much more than we expected.
Yeah, and I see harvesting is ongoing on the other side.
They are actually picking what has already dropped on the ground.
So they pick it from the ground? They don't pick it from the tree?
No, we wait for them to fall down, then we pick them.
Whoa, you've taken me to school. But I'll need to confirm that with the agronomist. Is he around?
He's right there where they are picking.
Okay, see you. Let me go meet him. Okay, see you on the other side. Wow, I'm still in shock. Did you know that you have to harvest these fruits from the ground? Like you wait for it to fall down and not harvesting it from the tree like any other fruits. Ooh, it's a shocker for me. It's the first time I'm hearing this and I'm so impressed. But the agronomist is here and is going to tell us more about that. And if you're just joining us today, we're focusing on macadamia farming, and I'm sure most of you have actually tasted or tried macadamia in the supermarket that is already processed. But well, this is how it looks in the farm, and we're going to learn more about this because that is where farming starts. And if you want to process, then you can continue from there. We are jump-starting you with the information you need to know. And our agronomist is right here. Hi, John.
Hi.
How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, welcome here.
Yes, the harvesting has been done here.
Yeah.
And I saw you were supervising. What did you identify? What do you look for when you're harvesting?
Okay, we make sure that the macadamia which we are collecting, it's mature. So maybe you know there's sometimes where macadamia may fall immature. So that one you have to sort it out even right from the beginning. So that's why we make sure that you collect mature macadamia nut. and it's not possible to know whether it's mature or not. That's why we advise farmers to collect nuts from the ground, not from the tree.
So it varies with sizes. If it's bigger, it's ripe.
No. We must wait for it to fall down. Sometimes you see even a very big nut, it's still hanging on the tree because it's not mature. So to be mature, that's when it detaches from the mother plant and then falls down.
So that's an indication that it's ripe.
Yeah, yeah.
So when it comes to macadamia, what are some of the cultural practices that you have to do in order to achieve good yields?
Okay, first of all, you know macadamia like any other tree also needs nutrition. So you must make sure that you apply manure. In fact, sometimes you also need to add fertilizer. That is NPK. That's compound fertilizer. You need to be applying regularly, especially before onset of rains.
So since it's hardwood, it consumes a lot of water.
It consumes a lot of water, and it will never bear. It will never produce flowers if it doesn't have enough nutrition. So you need to feed it well using manure, fertilizer. You also need to spray against diseases and pests. Like there is a disease which is common in macadamia called stink bug. If you doesn't spray, it will make macadamia to be distasteful. It will have a sour taste. So that's lowering the quality. That macadamia cannot be exported. Let
me ask you, John. I've seen that this particular farmer or many other farmers really do intercropping. I see there's beans, there's mbaazi here. Is it a good practice when it comes to macadamia?
Yeah, it's a very good practice in macadamia because the conventional spacing of macadamia is 7.5 meters by 7.5 meters. So practically that's a very wide space which is empty, which is lying bare. So to maximize the farmer's return, it's good that he or she plants have intercrops, so that at least he or she gets maximum from the rod. But once the macadamia reaches, when macadamia is fully established, maybe after 10 or 15 years, depending on management, at that time the macadamia is already close to touching each other. That's the spacing of 7.5 is already complete. So in that case, you don't have to plant. You can't plant because even there is no right penetration. That means even nothing can grow. But before that, from the first year to 10th year, it's very good to intercrop. Maybe with low growing crops.
So since you're speaking about planting, tell me, how do you plant macadamia? Because there's someone who's new and they're wondering, do you do direct seeding or do you do seedlings? And is it grafted?
For macadamia, you can't grow this nut because if you grow this nut, if you plant this nut, if you plant it in soil, it's very likely that it will never germinate.
Why?
So what we do, we advise farmers to plant grafted macadamia seedlings from a well-established nursery or a recognized nursery, where you are sure that what you are planting is a correct variety. Like in this farm, we have 3 varieties. Like this tree is different from that one, and maybe that other one. So when somebody goes to the nursery, he's supposed to demand or to request the variety which is doing well in the planting region.
John, and since by now I'm sure many people are interested in growing macadamia, what are some of the regions? Which regions really perform well if they grow macadamia?
Like now we are in Muranga, but we are in I think this is a medium altitude. But we have macadamia which is growing in high rods. So the macadamia which is growing in the high rods are not necessarily the one which grows in the low rods. So we advocate for varieties which grows in the planting zone. Like now, if you go to T zone, the cooler T zone, which is salads, we advise farmers to grow kiabudri. But you know, kiabudri, you cannot advise a farmer to grow maybe in rural like in Makueni. Yeah, so every tree, it has specific agroecological zone where it grows well.
So from here, where do we go to next? Because I'm sure there is another process.
Yeah, from this point now, the nuts have this green husk you have to remove, which is called dehusking.
Oh, dehusking.
Yeah, you have to remove you have to remove that husk so that you give it a longer shelf life before you take it to the processor.
Ah, then let's go.
Thanks.
Let me help you carry this.
Okay.
Hey, Mrs. Mora.
Hi.
Ninaona kazi inaendelea hapa.
Karibu, join us.
Let me join you. Habari zenyu? So nini inafanyika hapa?
Sasa hapa zinawekwa kwa gunia, zinapigwa, ndio to dehusk. Kutoa hii green ndio upate the nut.
Like this.
Kama hivi. Alafu zinaanikwa pale kwa kichungi.
So it's dried for how long?
A few hours is good. They are good to go. Kwa sababu huko factory wale watatoa nao watatoa nut, wako na ile mashini ya kutoa nut.
Oh, ile ya ndani.
Ya ndani. Ndio wanafanya hivyo.
Sounds like a good process, not tiresome.
Kuna haja ya kuiweka hapo kwa sababu iko tayari.
How do you transport it now to the processing factory?
Kuko na ngunia ile kama hii. Si ya plastic.
Kama hii ya majani chai.
Hii ya natural, you know, organic. Si makonge ama jute.
Yes, sisal.
Sisal, jute. Inawekwa kwa hii type of gunia. Alafu una weigh, unawapelekea na wao wana weigh. Process ni hiyo.
Now this looks like a bumper harvest. What are your expectations? How many kgs do you think or tons do you think you will collect from here?
By the time I finish, because it's a first heavy harvest, maybe I expect like 2 tons.
So 2 tons from here. That's a lot.
Wow. So yes.
For a first harvest, 2 tons. This is really good.
It's not bad.
That's good money. 2 tons.
Yes, thank you.
You've done a good job.
Yeah, we're happy to.
We really appreciate you having us here today. We've learned so much in this particular farm, all the management practices, and actually you can venture into this. As much as people don't know much on what to do to plant this, I've learned so much.
It was our pleasure.
We truly appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Karibu sana.
Thank you
Linda.
so much. We truly appreciate. Wow, what a show. That was amazing. Especially, I didn't know, like for real, I didn't know you don't pluck this particular crop from when you're harvesting. You don't harvest it from the tree, but you actually pick it from the ground once it has fallen. So, wow. I've learned so much, and you might as well want to try this particular venture. You can try macadamia farming, because I know you had your pen and paper ready and you wrote all the notes, and it's a beautiful venture and the future is bright, like Mrs. Mora said. So thank you so much for being part of the show today. I appreciate you as well. See you again next Friday, same time, 8 p.m. on K24 TV.